Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's time for post-match reaction following Ross County 1 Celtic 4 today at Dingwall. I'm joined by Alistair to go over the match, and we'll just obviously do the usual match reaction stuff. First and foremost, Alistair, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. Glad to get 3 points and done the road safely. So happy days with
Uh,
that. And we move on. And glad to get another away game out the road.
I mean, Alistair, we said on the preview that it was going to be um, difficult, and I think the 4-1 flatters Ross County, if you want to be perfectly honest. I thought they weren't organised as we thought they would be. Obviously, it was you had the conditions, the pitch. Obviously, Ross County can't stop the elements from doing the pitch and whatever. But you're thinking, it's going to be a difficult game. So it was kind of just as we says, one of those games you got there and you get the result and back to the road. Alistair, the team selection, in all honesty, I thought was the right team selection. I thought putting Kyogo on the left, I thought was better than putting a midfielder on the left. I said that. I just thought that how Kyogo I think could do a lot more on the ball, and basically how it transpired was I think it was more of a 4-4-2. Anyway, I think
Yeah.
we Engels was, I would say, out on the right hand side a lot. Yang obviously out on the left, and then had McGregor and Hattati in the midfield. Then Ida and Kyogo. Well, Ida was obviously the main striker. Then Kyogo was more the second striker, which for the most part, Alistair, I thought worked today. I thought it gave Kyogo just a lot. The pressure wasn't all on Kyogo to score the goals, and it gave the defence something else to think about. And Kyogo could just Davies' movement, and I think it worked. Alistair, obviously, we take the lead. I thought we started really well. We started, and it was just you're thinking, right, it's just a matter of time before we score. It's typical Celtic fans who miss a fair few chances before actually opening the scoring, but it was in what you would call Alistair Celtic time. Johnston puts a brilliant cross in. It's actually a really good team goal. And then Johnston puts a cross in. And I have said all season, as if you put a cross semi decent, Kyogo's going to end it. And that is exactly what he done, Alistair.
Yeah, well, Johnston, I thought his crossing today was pretty much on the money. I mean, as you, we said, I just felt as you said in your briefing, that we were, I felt we were a bit wasteful at times, but as you say, you can never, I mean, it was two class finishes for Kyogo when we really needed them, Josh. The
Aye.
build up play was good, but I just felt we were going to, we were, we were creating chances. I would have liked us to be more clinical.
We talk.
How more can you ask for?
We talk about the clinical nature. You probably look at it on hindsight and say we eventually did probably score the amount of goals that you probably our chances that we created probably merited. I will also say we're up against a goalkeeper that was, playing really well as well. But
Inspired.
um, but then before the goal, even Johnson had a chance. He just flicked straight at the goalkeeper. Engels bones one over the bar, and then you've got then after the goal. In my opinion, we should be 2-0 up. Because I think it was Ida puts the ball across, and then Kyogo he kind of flicks it either, and then Kyogo gets it the first time, can't score, and then can't score the second time. And I'm thinking, like, come on, man, you need to put this away because Ross County won the off on it, but I'm always of the opinion is you want to kill any momentum that Ross County could go into the second half and go, right, we're only one behind. If they were 2-0 behind, they're probably out the game, really, let's be honest. And I would expect Celtic to go through and fully control it. but we're only 1-0 at half time. Into the second half, Alistair, we had another chance with Yang, who just he done really well as well, and it's just typical of Yang's career. He just at Celtic done really well, and then didn't even just passed it into the goalkeeper's hands. Um, and and then you think, then the inevitable comes. You're thinking, because I said that obviously you were at the game and I was watching on the TV, and you're thinking they're going to get a penalty, they're going to score a long shot, and they do get the penalty, Alistair. Um, I think there's multiple things at fault. Johnston just gets completely caught wrong side. I do think Vai's partly to blame as well. He didn't do anywhere near enough to stop the cross. I'd expect, Vai's, everybody's been clamouring for Vai to start. I didn't think it was anywhere, wasn't bad in it today, but I just thought for the penalty, he needs to try and stop that cross a lot better. He just kind of lets the guy cross it in.
Yeah. It's lazy.
It was really
I
lazy. It was
felt
a,
Vi was lazy. No, to at least try. You might not stop the course, but always put yourself in the right position to stop the course. But as you say, Josh, that let's be real here. That was the only way Ross County were scoring was a penalty kick. I
but
mean,
my point my point is though, it's like, and I'm not having a go at the team, but I do think, for us not being clinical at times, I
against a
thought we played.
better side, it would bite,
I
isn't it?
thought we played
To be fair.
played well, and I thought the whole game today we played well. Overall play, it was just that lack of cutting edge. And it gets to one each, and they kind of obviously it's a Stonewall penalty as well that Johnston gives away. I don't think there's any doubts on that. But then you're thinking, then you start thinking, then every chance it goes over the bar, you get more annoyed because you're thinking, this is one each
Yeah.
when we should be about 2-3-0 up here. Um, you
Well,
know, and then chances are getting spummed, and then um, we end up making changes.
the
McCowan comes
goalkeeper
on.
throwing off all the time.
Aye, the goalie's pulling it. He obviously pulled that save off from Vai's long shot. That's a really good save, by the way, because the deflection on that's like a horrid
Yeah,
deflection.
the deflection's really, really bad. I mean, but I would say that, Josh, I always felt that we would get more
Chances.
chances. It was
It's
one of
just to
those
put them
games
away.
that was just, can we take them? Can we take them?
No, that's what I'm saying. I think overall, I'd be a lot more annoyed if we were like playing for instance at Paradise. A few weeks back, we were just awful all over the park. So I don't think we played particularly awful. I just think there was sometimes a lack of cutting edge, and you're probably laughing
Yeah.
because if you've not watched the game or whatever, and you're saying our 4-1, you must have been clinical enough. And towards the end, obviously we were. But I think it was just you were getting every shot that was getting by the post, and every shot that was just getting into you were getting more frustrated. We obviously brought on.
I'll,
We made substitutions. Ida come onto the park, off the park. Sorry, McKeown come on. I think. I'm trying to think.
Johnny,
Johnny Kenny came on as well, didn't he? So we're making obviously substitutions. I thought Kenny when he came onto the park was and we'll go on to him in a minute because I wanted to speak about because he obviously made his debut. But also we did get the second. We did get back in front. It's a throw in, and then Engels is actually falling, puts the cross in. Another really good ball. Kyogo's got so much to do for that header, and we're talking about a guy who's no tall, so he's still got a lot to generate in that header, and he does it really well. And you're just kind of obviously
it's
at that point you're thinking,
very underrated that goal because I'll tell you why. People will think the goalkeeper got his hand to it, he should have saved it. He never even seen it. To be fair, because it was as soon as Kyogo heads that, it's only going one place, in my opinion.
aye.
A
Um,
goalkeeper can get finger to a ball, but that doesn't mean to say he can stop it.
no, and you take kind of breath after that. And I think maybe that's what Brendan Rodgers has been on about. And I'm guilty, especially watching it in the house. I can get because I'm different at the games to if I was watching in the house. I'm a lot more. I get annoyed a lot
No,
easier about stuff with.
I was texting you every 5 minutes at 1 and 2
Aye,
long the left,
and I think
so
that's what Rodgers
I
is on
was
about.
getting a
And I
bit
think
nervous.
I think Rodgers, that's what Rodgers is on about, and I do kind of agree with him in a sense. I think that he's just like, be patient, we'll get there in the end. And to be fair to them, they showed with the mentality that we've showed for how many years now, over different managers, we've always seem to have that mentality. We'll find a way, we'll get a chance, and it's just if we take it. Alistair, we end up sealing it the points with an Arnie Engels penalty, which was one with some good play, I thought. Obviously, it was about three passes and we're in the box. Kyogo on the left hand side, I thought was pretty good today. I thought it was, potting up. I think mostly it was in the middle at times, but sometimes he was potting up wide. He puts the ball towards Yang. And at first, I just thought Yang had fucked it, and I was getting a bit annoyed because I was like, oh, come on, man, shoot. But on obviously second viewing, um, it's a penalty kick. Um,
I am on you go.
no, I was just going to say that he doesn't. I don't know who it was, but he doesn't get anywhere near the ball. He wraps his leg around. I think he's going for the ball, but he wraps his leg around Yang.
James Brown, James
Aye,
Brown it was.
so I think he
But
wraps his leg around Yang, and then Yang goes down. So it is a penalty kick to me.
I got probably I remember this clearly because from where I was, I'm looking if I'm sitting there, the young fowl was about from 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 my seat to the penalty spot. So I'm on the line with the penalty spot at that goal. So to give you an idea, so I was screaming for it obviously, and then they never gave it, and everybody around us just was saying, "Don't worry, that'll get checked." Didn't half expect it to take as long to get checked, mind you, but got there in the end.
Aye, and then Arnie steps up, and right, and I just had a feeling he was going to miss it. Now, obviously, he missed it because he was way off the line. But even when he stepped out, I thought he's no missed one for us yet. And I thought this game's been like this, and I thought he's going to. And I knew he was going to go to the right hand side, and I thought he's going to miss this. Obviously, he missed it, and I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake. And then, he's the goalkeeper's miles off his line. Um,
I bet, I bet you Nathan was texting me as he missed that penalty, and then he realised it was a
I don't,
it
I
was
don't
a
text you.
retake.
I don't text Nathan during the games. Um,
Uh,
so I get
but I
annoyed
bet
enough.
he would have texted you.
Nah,
Bet
so I
he
get
would have
annoyed enough.
texted you.
No, but the retake, obviously the retake, and he puts it in the corner pretty much, and that was
Yeah, I didn't
3-1 the
think he
game.
would miss twice,
Um,
to be fair.
but aye, then we get the fourth goal. It's actually good for Johnny Kenny, kind of burst kind of through, and then obviously I think he just fell over it pretty much. Then it's fell to McCowan, who shows good feet to set up the chance. But so as I said, it's one of those games you're just kind of 3 points, then you want to kind of move on.
Down the
Um,
road is yeah.
aye. I want to speak about a few players. Alan Engels, I thought he's just getting better and better as I've continuously said. I think
Yeah, he's getting better by the week. He's getting
uh,
better
he's
by the week.
his passing just seems assured. He's tackling. But you know what? I don't think he was flat in the day. I think it was, but I think he's just getting better every week, which is obviously good to see. I want to speak a bit about Kyogo because I do think that I think some of our supporters wishing him out the door in January and need to be careful what they wish for. And I think that today goes to show that. Celtic should be no way letting go of Kyogo in the January window for any fee. We have got still big games to play this season. Obviously, the league we're really like away really and get a massive points gap. But we've got European games, and I'm not going to sit here and say that Kyogo has had his best season. Of course, he's not. But this bollocks that I've heard that he doesn't score goals and he's not the same player, it's utter pish. And
Game service for goals.
pretty much, and he's not had that service. It's not rocket science. You give him service, he scores the goals. You look at the cross from Engels 2 weeks when he scored. I don't know how was it against Motherwell. No, I can't remember, but he scored and
Johnson.
St
Johnson.
John's. And Engels put a brilliant cross in, he scores a goal. Good bit of end product. There you go,
Yeah.
because somebody's put a good ball in. Johnston puts a brilliant ball in from the day, scores the goal. And then Engels puts another good cross in. He does really well with the header. It is not rocket science. If you put service into Kyogo, he will score goals. It is pretty simple. And that's what now probably in the summer you need to look at maybe Kyogo leaving because I think maybe he'd want to personally, but I think I think people need to be careful what they wish for. If you're actively, there was people last week on Twitter, and I did see this who were saying they would drive him at the airport, and you're
Mm.
like,
That's
this
absolute nuts. That's
is,
nuts to me.
and I'll tell you why it's nuts because this guy came in and he has been a consistent outlet for us for goals, um, ever since he's been here. Now he showed there again why we do need him. He goes at a hole there again, scored 2 goals. He's the main man. So Kyogo, he's not had his best season, but he is the best striker we have got at this club. Um, and obviously we'll see what happens in the summer. But Alistair, in no way should we be selling him in January, and I'd be fuming if we did.
And for the basic reason, Joe, we've got 2 games in January. Young Boys at Bayern and Aston Villa. Whoever we sign in the next 3 weeks or sorry, 4 weeks or so,
Can't
we
play.
they can't play, so we cannot get rid of Kyogo. We can't. We
Uh,
just can't.
aye, and I
In a
completely
practical sense, we can't.
and I completely understand that he's not been at his best. Kyogo hasn't been at his best this season. None of the two of the strikers have been anywhere near their best this season. But Kyogo still turns up when he needs to. If you give Kyogo service, and he isn't just, and I watched Kyogo at Celtic Park at times, and he's just standing there with his hands out, like trying to get into involved in the
Especially
play.
when he got me the ball through.
And I said this in the summer. I said the biggest player that who will miss Matt O'Reilly will be Kyogo because
Yeah.
he could find Kyogo. Now I'm hoping maybe him and Engels will be able to kind of do that because they seem to.
Yeah, well, you've seen a bit of that today, and let's not get carried away. It's Ross County. But you could see that it passed, it set up one of the goals, and Alistair Johnson found it money. So, and Kyogo thrives in confidence. So hopefully this is a start. Going on a reasonably long run between now and the end of the season, and what will happen at the end of the season will will happen.
Well, I was looking like kind of stats and stuff like that with Kyogo. He's still projected to get 20 goals this season.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's now level with the United boy at the top of
the lead, the
the
scoring
scoring
charts.
charts in the league. So and
But you know,
and then
I just, I'm at the point where like IQ was not been the best, but I think, and even he said it himself, in the interview after for Sky, he was like, and Johnston says he was basically saying he was pissed that he never got a hat trick. But even he said, obviously, he spoke about English. He says, "Yeah, I missed a lot of chances. I need to improve." He'll know that he's not been hitting the heights this season. He's not stupid. Like,
at the end
so
of the day, Man City were linked to him for a reason, and he was mentioned next to Man City for a reason. Because if you give him service, he'll score goals.
aye, that's not aye, exactly. And that goes for any striker. That goes for any striker
Yeah,
you give, especially ones who kind of thrive about the penalty box, and that's what Kyogo's like. He's making runs. Defenders don't know where he is. I would go as far as saying his movements up there with the best in Europe at times. I
yeah.
think he's,
If we can't find him,
in terms of mental, and football intelligence, it's incredible. He's the best I've ever seen in terms of football intelligence, like runs, and because when you watch him at Celtic Park, you see the runs he's made. Defenders don't have a fucking clue where he is, and I'm just glad to see him with the
or
two
you
goals.
think you've got him and then he disappears.
Aye, but I'm just glad to see him get 2 goals, get his obviously confidence up. Alistair, Johnny Kenny obviously made his debut. We kind of both says that we maybe wanted to see him there for. If I didn't see him today, I'd be a bit alright. Come on, to fuck you, man. Like, why'd you bring him back? I thought,
Yeah.
he was decent. I thought he came on and he looked assured.
A decent movement. I was kind of hoping Josie would get a goal, but I don't think it was on long enough. But I've seen enough to. Be, if we do our job properly, Josh, come the back end of the season, Johnny Kenny should be certainly in the mix at least until the summer and be
He should get a
properly
chance.
assessed.
He should get a
That's,
chance.
that's
Um,
because
I think.
if you can score goals for Shamrock Rovers, knowing the League of Ireland, and I know the Conference League isn't the best in terms of group stage, but it's still a European competition, and they did score goals. So
Aye, you said that about the League of
that's
Ireland, right? I'm going to, because I've heard that, like, obviously he's coming for the League of Ireland. I don't think that means anything because, do you think that Shamrock Rovers have done brilliant this season in terms of Conference League? They've done really well for what an Irish club, but that's not me being snobby, but Irish clubs are like,
yeah,
maybe
I
don't.
will. Well, you wouldn't associate a League of Ireland club getting into the playoffs in any European competition.
Aye,
Let's be honest. I don't think I'm being harsh or unfair. It's very if it used to be that if I remember Dundalk, um, um, St Pat's doing it a couple of times, but them getting into group stage, but then they would become cannon fodder for Shamrock Rovers to get into a European competition and then get out the other side into a playoff. Now, I know the Conference League isn't great, but
well,
I heard that's what the Conference League was for. But
you can say it isn't that great, but you just need to look at our teams in our country who can't even qualify for the things. So,
St
you know,
Kilmarnock and
not
Hearts,
even really
yeah.
St Mirren, it's more
Well,
Hearts.
no
Hearts have
Hearts.
done. Hearts are the biggest culprit for me. They've got an automatic qualification spot with no hard teams.
Yeah,
Um,
and finished 25th.
aye, so I mean, with Johnny Kenny, I think we're just going to see how he goes. Obviously, I would like to see
I'm
him
not
get a chance.
I'm not gonna say this, that, the other, but what I will say, it definitely should be assessed between now and the
Um,
summer, and not just assessing training. They should be given minutes because we're quite fortunate, Josh, that we put ourselves in that good a position that we can
aye,
give Johnny Kenny and others like Daniel Cummins, for example. I seen he was in the bench. We should
aye.
be giving these guys minutes if games are dead.
Alistair, I'm going to. I don't think. I think everybody, was pretty good today, apart from one. And I
Adam,
don't want to pick Adam Ida. I don't want to pick, and I like Adam Ida, right? And I've said that he needed a run of games. That's the first time he started 3 games in a row for Celtic, and I'm not. And I do think he will come out the other side, and I'm not even going to take the fee in because he doesn't dictate the fee. As that, I'm pretty simple with that. He doesn't. The
yeah,
club pissed Norwich about. Norwich are perfectly entitled to go at right. Well, you piss us about. We want more money. That's fine, but it still does not allow Adamina a pass on. I'm not seeing enough at the moment from Adamida. I thought he was decent against St Mirren, but today, apart from the header he put across for Kyogo, it was, and I really do feel for him because I'm a Nida fan, and I think he will come good. But if I'm going to be honest with you and say, and I think it's something maybe people don't want to admit, but he's not doing anywhere near enough Alistair at the moment.
it looks off it, Josh. I'll concede that. It
He looks
looks off
well
it,
off it.
and he's in desperate, he's in desperate need of a goal. So much so, if Arnie Engels wasn't on the pitch, I would have gave it to Adamida
Aye, I
just
think
to
he would have
try
been
and
anyway.
get
I think
the
he's our
monkey off
second
his
penalty.
back.
He would be our second penalty taken anyway. I think,
Yeah,
but like that chance in the first half,
yeah,
Alistair, without being too obvious, he needs to score that. I'd expect a striker to
yeah.
score that. And he takes an extra touch for some reason. That's probably confidence based. I do feel for him because I do like Ida. I think he's a good player, but he needs to be doing a lot more. And it's not even just scoring. I think off the
That the
ball, he
one
needs.
they tried to beat him at the near post.
And he just completely put it by the post. Um,
Yeah,
I think off the ball he needs to be doing a bit more. I, I'm as you know, I don't like getting hard
he's
on players, and I never went in hard on Engels or anything, so I won't get in hard on either. But there's a difference between going in hard on a player and just criticise him. And I do think he needs to be criticised because I don't think he's been good enough this season.
I will say, Josh, his his hold up play was decent. He had a couple of
Decent.
nice touches, but but you need to have something at the end of it,
Aye.
and I'm not seeing that at the moment. And
And
you know
don't
me, I'm with you. I wanted that to do well.
and don't get me wrong, same boat as Kyogo. I do think that the same boat with Kyogo. I do think sometimes he's let down with the service,
Yeah,
but and I really hope this is the case, and I do think it will be the case. He will turn that around. Because he showed,
the, o- the
and
only
people
thing, the
and
only
people
thing
say to me
is
is that he's paid it back or from last season. You can only go on last season for so long. I need to start seeing
yeah,
stuff this season.
the Scottish Cup final can only take him so
Aye.
long as well.
Um.
Yeah, the only thing I've always said about it, and this was even before the sign, see if things don't go his way, it looks very clumsy.
I think
Clumsy
I
is the
think
word that I would use.
he's a I think he is because he's tall and that. I think he looks clumsy without actually being a clumsy player. If you know what I mean. But he can be a goal scorer. We saw that last year, and that's why I've got confidence. just we've seen it with Engels again, and I'm not one of these people that just write off a player like a lot of our fans done with Kuhn, but a lot of our fans done with obviously a lot of them even done it with Engels. And I don't fall into that trap. So I really do hope he turns it around, Alistair. And just gets maybe a consistent run of goals because he has still scored a decent
Yeah,
amount of
he
goals.
needs one to go in off him, I would
Aye,
say.
aye.
Um,
But
but
I tend end off. Who would you pick for man of the match?
um, I would. I'm gonna. I'm gonna. You're gonna say Engels, and I'm gonna say Kyogo
You really think I'm going to
because
say Ingles
I
out
think
every week? I'm not
he's
that
a
fuck.
header.
No,
I
Kyogo.
do think
No.
the header is very underrated. Josh. People, as I said earlier, would think that is a easy header. It's not. It's not.
I'd go for Kyogo as well. As I said, I thought we were all pretty decent today, I think. And obviously said earlier on it's just Ross County, but I do think it was more than that. I think Ross County away is always a really difficult place to go. They were coming into a good run of form, as well. And the weather was really bad. It was cold and
I
whatever. And the
don't.
pitch,
I don't want to use the pitch as an excuse, but the pitch was horrendous.
to
I
be fair,
don't
I
know
don't
how
think
it
there's.
looked in the telly, but it looked
I didn't look great.
horrendous.
But I think Ross County done their best to even get the game on, to be honest.
Yeah,
So, but
well, let me tell you, Josh, if it had rained at all today, that game would have been off.
aye.
Trust me.
But I think it was just important to get up there. We'll eventually
Get
obviously
out
win
of
4-1, 4-1 then get it out the road and obviously move on to Dundee on Tuesday. But that'll be it for the Ross County versus Celtic match reaction. As Celtic move 18 points clear, at least until Sunday. Um, but I will
I'm
be
no
back.
hope.
But I will be back later on in the week with build up to that game on Tuesday against Dundee at Dens Park. And until then, speak to you later and hail hail.